Hey everyone, it doesn't matter who you are or what you do or what kind of dog you have, or even if you have a dog, Flyball is the sport for you. Welcome back guys to another Flyball and Friends video. Today we're going to interview Kathy. Alright, welcome Kathy. I'm so glad that you could spend your day with me today. If you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Kathy Austin. I'm from Rochester, New York. I've been involved in flyball since I started training in 1995. And I went to my first tournament in 1997.
Awesome. So you've been playing a long time.
I started flyball when I had red hair, when I was in my late 30s. And of course, now I'm a gray old lady at 63.
That's awesome. How many dogs do you have, Kathy?
I currently have 4, 2 retired dogs. 15-year-old Jack Russell, he's 15 today. And then Kick, my border collie, will be 12 in July. He retired last year. And then we have 2 border jacks.
Awesome.
Nova is 9, belongs to my partner. And then I have Sweet, who just turned 6.
Awesome. That's cool. Good for you. And what do you do for a living?
I am a registered nurse at UR Medical Center.
So what got you playing flyball, Kathy?
Well, I graduated from college with my bachelor's degree. I originally got my nurse's degree and went back to college. And the one thing I wanted when I graduated was my own dog. Not a family dog, not a boyfriend dog, my dog nobody could take away from me, right?
Yeah.
So I was very active, loved to hike, loved to do stuff. So I got it in my head, I wanted a Jack Russell. I had so many people try to talk me out of getting a Jack Russell. So that only made me want a Jack Russell more. So I did. In 1994, I got Rocket. And he was as all Jack Russells are, he was an active little guy. And I found out I loved doing stuff with him. And at the time in Rochester, there was only I took obedience class after obedience class after obedience class with him because there was really nothing else going on at that time. This was, back in 94, 95, and people, this fringe group of people would come up to me and go, "Oh my God, you have a Jack Russell. He's so obedient. You got to try flyball. Flyball, what's flyball? You got to try flyball. What's flyball?" Finally, it took months and months. I found people in Rochester that were doing flyball and took some classes with them. And I was like instantly hooked. It was something so much more fun than obedience to do with my dog.
That's awesome. All right. Now, do you have a most memorable dog that you've ever gotten to watch race?
Way back I was thinking about this, way back in the late 90s, there was this one dog, I think she was from Michigan. Her name was Indy. She was this little, I think, tricolored border collie. And she was so fast. And back in the late 90s, when a dog did a 4.0, it was jaw-dropping, and this little teeny border collie would just spit out 4.0s, across the board. And I used to watch her and go, wow. And then I can't remember the dog's name, but Ashley Hilliker's first border jack, a little brown and white dog. And I used to look at that dog and I'd have my Jack Russell and go, "Oh, I want one of those." And then so many dogs. Scott Stein's Pyro, who was also one of the first border jacks. And he was spitting out 3.9. He started spitting out 3.9s, 3.8s, 3.9s. And I was like, wow. But I never thought I could own one of those dogs. I thought was scared of border collies. Like, oh my God, they've got so much energy. Oh my God, these border jacks. I could never handle one. And then as I got to actually know the dogs, I was, well, okay, I can. And, a border collie and 2 border jacks later, here I am.
That's awesome. So at what age do you usually start flyball training at?
Well, it's changed through the years. My Jack Russell, my first dog, Rocket, was an adult when he started training flyball. Yaz and Kick probably did too much. That was, 14 and 11 years ago. I probably trained them too hard as puppies.
Yeah.
And Steve, my partner, trained Nova. With Sweet, I was a lot smarter. Really just did foundation work. Didn't really start her on turns and till she was about 7-8 months. Really not full runs or full. She started, since she was a small dog, she started with the jumps, like 6 feet, 7 feet. I think she was way over a year before we put the jumps at 10 feet. So as I've progressed and gotten older in flyball, I hope I've gotten smarter, and training has gotten better.
Yeah.
And I actually even think the next dog, I wouldn't even really start turns or a lot of jumping until they're like well over a year.
Yeah, it's amazing the progression that we've made since the 90s on how we do things around in flyball. So
yeah, definitely. Dogs are so fast now. I worry about the impact on their bodies.
For sure. Now, how long, or do you have maybe an average age of how long it takes to train a flyball dog?
Everybody wants to go for, a year old. Used to be a year old. Everybody, boom, wants to get in.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that if the age is now more like a year and a half. And I think that's a good time to start them. Again, my earlier dogs, it was, get them in, run them full time. And with Sweet, I was much smarter. She started out like 1 heat, warm-ups, then maybe 1 heat a tournament, and then maybe a couple tournaments, 2 heats. So she had a lot more gradual and solid introduction to flyball.
Excellent. All right. How often does your team practice?
Usually we would practice once a week for about 3 hours. And most of that was taken up with the puppies. Actually the training dogs, or the racing dogs, really get very little time.
Yeah.
They might run a race or two. And actually, unless there's a problem and they're well trained, I don't really think they need a whole lot of practice time. Maybe just skills.
Yeah. Do you do anything at home then to help with flyball?
Yeah, we have the whole setup. We have our own box. We have jumps, slant board, all the props and stuff. We could set up. We have a pretty good backyard, so we could set up a whole course in our backyard.
Awesome.
Sometimes I'll do box turns in the basement just to keep them fresh. We do a lot of Lars with my Flyball Friends. We'll have a park that's nearby, and we try to get together once a week for Lars.
So for anyone that doesn't know, Lars are long ass recalls.
Yep.
So how often do you do tournaments, Kathy?
Oh, I love tournaments. I mean, I didn't train so hard or work so hard to get my dogs ready just to, sit home. So tournaments, I'll do probably 10 to 12 a year, and I don't do winter tournaments. Winter tournaments are just not fun. Hotel pottying 4 dogs in a hotel room when it's 20 below. No, that's not me. I usually start my season like in April, and we end pretty much October, November. But we try to fit in 10 to 12 there.
Cool. What's the farthest you've been for a tournament?
either St. Louis, you fly champs, or Nova Scotia, whichever. They're both about 18, 20 hours.
Cool. Do you have any outside tournaments over there?
No, never have done an outside tournament. The weather could be too sketchy. It could rain. It would rain and boom, there goes your tournament. They're all indoors.
Fair enough. Do you have a favorite tournament that you love to go to besides any of the championships?
I love going to Region 10. Love going to Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. Not only is it just fun racing different teams, and I know a lot of the people up there from going up. Usually every 2 years, I'll take a trip up there. Not only is it's fun just racing different regions, the hospitality up there is unbeatable. They just go all out to make out-of-towners feel welcome and have refreshments and welcoming, and people are so friendly. It's a really awesome place to go.
Awesome. That's good. All right. Now, what would be one of the more important things you learned when you first started playing flyball?
Oh, it was a disaster when I first started playing flyball. We didn't really know much, the people in Rochester that sort of had a clue about flyball moved away. So we were left with this little group of just 4 people, and we each had a dog. And, we would practice, and our dogs were great. We didn't know anything about proofing our dog.
Yeah.
So that first tournament in 1997 was September in Collingwood, Ontario. And so we entered. We were supposed to enter the year before, but our dogs got kennel cough. But we entered this tournament. Was so excited, And I think we seeded like 26 seconds, which was reasonable. And my Rocket was really the most solid dog on the team. He knew his job. So we went to this tournament. We're lined up. We're ready to go. And all the dogs go down, and Rocket was last. And I sent him down, and he went to the box, stopped, looked around, jumped over the backstop, ran out the building. People are telling me he was running around the field. Ran back in another door, and it was 2 rings of racing. Went in and chased the other ring of racing, which at the time was Division 1.
Oh boy,
yeah. Make a long story short, what I really learned early on in flyball was, you wouldn't believe the people who came up to me and just said, hey, it's going to get better. Hey, we'll do this. Hey, I'm going to work with you with your dog. Hey, would you like to join us in house league? We can help you. They were so friendly, and they were so helpful, and they were so supportive. I mean, I was ready to pack up the car and go home. That I have no business being here at all. I can't do this. I can't do this. And people convinced me I could. And that was a great lesson. And I actually try to put that forward with any new people that I see. And I have actually. I helped a lady called Monica Roberts, who was from Maine, and she started a flyball team in Maine. And their first tournament, it was a disaster, and I just jumped right in and helped her, and we became really good friends.
That's good. Good for you for being able to do that. It's always a scary thing to go out into the flyball world when you're brand new and learning the whole game and everything. So that's awesome.
And kept me going. And actually, Rocket turned out to be, here she is, really an awesome, solid flyball dog. He actually was well known enough that he was a finalist for the Clyde Moore Hall of Fame. I have this little plaque on the wall.
That's cool. Congratulations.
He was a really great dog. My first dog, I accomplished so much with my first dog.
That's awesome. All right. So is there a place in the world that you'd still love to go, whether it's compete, train, or even just watch?
Alaska. I want to go to Alaska. I'd love to see how you guys do it I would love to take a trip, it's a retirement trip, but just keep going west and see what you guys do in Saskatchewan. Diane Meigs has two sisters to my Porter Jack. Her Trace is Nova's sister, and of course Ditto is Sweet sister. Love to see her and see her dogs race, see how Saskatchewan does it, British Columbia, and then just keep going to Alaska.
Do the old Flyball World Tour, as they say.
Exactly. Maybe even when come back down Alaska, hit the California coast.
That would be awesome for sure. All right, so what exactly do you like about playing flyball?
It's really changed over the years. I definitely have a super competitive streak. I love to win.
Yeah.
To watch my dog go down and back isn't fun for me. I have to be challenged. My favorite part about lining up to race is the concentration. I love to pass. Starting, sometimes I get in the zone and can start, but that's not really too often. I really like passing. Passing is such a blast. It takes such concentration. You have to really know what you're looking at with the dog coming back and try to get that as tight as possible. That's really my favorite part of the game, and winning.
That's awesome.
And a lot of that depends on can you get that pass?
Yeah, 100%. All right, so is there a team or maybe a person that you just love racing against?
The past couple years, I would say it's been Mass Chaos. Mass Chaos and I raced with Too Fast for You the past two previous years. We're always kind of neck and neck for regional championships. They can smoke us, but every once in a while we can put up a really good fight. And one turn, 2 years ago, it came down to the last tournament for regional points, and whoever won, and it came down to the last race, and it went down to the last heat. They beat us by 1/10 of a second for the regional championship. So I like racing, and it's fun to win, but boy, give me a good race, and that's worth the price of admission. And that was definitely a cool year, because both teams kept hitting their fastest against each other.
That's awesome. Good for you guys. All right, is there a team out there that you haven't been able to watch race yet that you would like to?
Oh, wow. That's an interesting question. I've seen a lot of them actually at YouFly Champs and Can-Am. That's what those big championship tournaments are good for watching. And we used to go to Can-Am every year, so I've seen X. I love to watch X. They just have so much fun out there. Top Dog Racers are really fun to watch. Texas.
Yeah.
The gentleman have you seen him with the cap? He does the cap for the start dog. He has this whole ritual that he does, and it's just fascinating to watch. But you can just see him getting in that zone, to concentrate. So I do love to watch all sorts of different teams, and actually I've had that chance.
Excellent. All right, so do you have a favorite memory of flyball, whether it's on or off the racing lanes?
Yeah, probably when Buffalo Wings was one of the teams I belonged to, probably my longest. I've been on several different teams. We decided in 2013, we got a bunch of fast multi-breed teams. I think we could go for the regional championship in multi-breed. So we got 4 handlers that said, okay, we're going to travel, we're going to do it, because we're in Region 13, which is New England and New York. Well, there's nothing further than Buffalo, New York, to Maine. that's like 13 hours. So yeah. But we made the commitment to travel, and it came down to, actually we sewed it up in August. We were like, yay. So we took those dogs and said, I think we could sneak in the regular championship. So we took our multi-breed dogs, which were our fastest dogs, and put them in regular, and we took the regular. But what we didn't expect is we won the NAFA multi-breed that year. And when we realized we won, I mean, they were screaming to be had, because that was never really a goal.
Yeah.
But it was only because actually Region 13 especially over the years, has had a really strong multi-breed class. Yeah, it was actually a Region 13 achievement too, that it showed just how strong multi-breed could be.
For sure, yeah, it's definitely a dying section of flyball if I've ever seen one. It's mostly just mixed breeds getting to play mostly nowadays anyways, so it's good to see that you guys are still keeping multi alive, so good for you guys. All right, so do you have any personal goals playing the sport?
Boy, it's changed over the years. I feel like I've accomplished a lot. I mean, Rocket was a finalist for the Hall of Fame. We took those championships, the NAFA, multi-breed. We've taken, when I was on Too Fast for You, we've taken regional championships before too. Hit 15s with Too Fast for You. But over the years, Alex, I think what my main goal has gone from like super competitive to, my God, let's just have some fun. Let's hang out, let's laugh, let's have a great potluck supper at the end of the day. I've been getting more and more just into the hanging around with great people and let's just have fun aspect. And fun teams. My very favorite team to run is, we call them Twisted Sister. We have some videos online of them. It's my friends in Ottawa also own Nataki Border Jacks. So we have 4 girls, so we get them all together, run them together, and call them Twisted Sister. And they're so much fun to run because they just are so worked up and bark, 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 and bite, 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 bite. And they love to run together, and it's so much fun to see the sisters all have fun.
That's awesome. That's cool. All right, so do you have anyone that maybe you look up to as a mentor in flyball, whether it's first starting or even now?
Over the years, there's so many great people in flyball, so many great trainers. But I would have probably my most current mentor or admired person, and this probably will surprise her, is I've thought about this a lot, is Cindy Henderson, who is she's a supervising judge. She's on a team called she was on a team called Western Whirlwinds. They have since merged and become Patriot Flyball, but she's in Massachusetts. She's a lady who's been involved in flyball for many years, maybe just a few years less than me. Very knowledgeable. Like I said, she's a supervising judge. She used to be a regional director. She knows flyball in and out, but the real reason I admire her is she's such a great communicator. She's such a great ambassador of the sport. She always knows the right things to say, and she knows how to calm people down. And she, being a judge, she's had people in her face. She always keeps her cool. She's always positive. I wish I could be more like her. I am not the world's best communicator. I can be a hothead, I'm surprised I haven't been thrown out of the ring for some of the dingers that have come out of my mouth. I think I've been warned. But I would really like to be more like Cindy. She is really an awesome person and busy lady. She's busy with her job. She has her dog. She helps run the team. She judges. I've even had Cindy's a really good friend too. And Cindy and I've even had disagreements in flyball about different rules or whatever, and we can discuss very rationally our differences, and she's just such an awesome person. She's one of the people that make flyball worth it, and you should interview her. She's my challenge. She's been the head judge. You probably know her. She's been the head judge at Can-Am.
The name sounds familiar. I've never met her, but the name definitely sounds familiar.
Yeah, she was the head judge at Can-Am for 2 years.
Awesome. All right, well, she is now officially on the hot seat now that she's been challenged, so that's good.
Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy her.
For sure. Now, do you have any hobbies outside of playing flyball?
I actually do, and that surprised me. Travel-wise, I love to go to New York City and see Broadway shows. I love Broadway musicals. I go see them in Rochester. I have season tickets in Rochester. I have spent way too much money the past 3-4 years going to New York City and seeing what I want down there. Hamilton, 4 times. I also like to, when I'm home, I like to hang with my dogs. We do dock diving. We hope to fit in some this year. I don't know how it's going to work with social distancing. Kick is retired now, but Sweet, believe it or not, likes duck diving. She's a very cautious dog. It took her years to like it, but she actually likes it now.
That's good.
So we'll do some and see how she does. And I play a lot of trivia games online. I'm like a trivia game addict.
That's cool. Good for you for doing all that stuff. All right, so is there something that you would recommend to someone starting out in flyball?
Find people that you like and trust. If you're not a fit, if something just seems weird, or if you're not a fit with people, there are other people, there are other teams out there. Be patient. It takes a while to get a flyball dog trained. Especially if there are a lot of people that come to learn flyball come with an adult dog that's really not had any foundations. So it actually really takes a little longer. They're physically ready to train, but mentally, it takes longer to get their work through distractions and get the dogs mentally into the game. And I never mind. It's funny, the people that I've helped train in flyball, I don't mind what your first dog is. Bring me your mutt, bring me your Shih Tzu, bring me your goofy 20-pound overweight lab. I'll tell you to lose weight, but that may not go over big. But if they're a really good person, it doesn't matter what their starting dog is, because boy, 1 or 2 more dogs down the lane, they're going to have a killer dog.
100%.
Yeah. It's all about the people in flyball. It's really not about, of course it's about the dogs and having fun with your dogs, but team dynamics is people.
100%. Yeah, and even if you don't have a dog, you can learn the sport and then you can get one later, or you can just run someone else's. There's lots of dogs out there.
Oh my God, I spent so many years really in between dogs. So 3-4 dogs is our limit, and I am so famous for running other people's dogs, and there was one dog, a little Jack Russell I used to run named Ruckus, Claire Gordon's dog, and he would hear my voice and he'd start crying and because he knew I was going to be there to run him for flyball. It was so sweet.
All right, Kathy, I think that's all the questions I have for you today. So thank you again for being here. Hopefully at some point I can maybe make it out there, and hopefully we'll see each other on the racing lanes.
Oh,
Thanks again, Kathy, for doing this with me. It was great to talk to you again. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell. Hit that like button as well if you like today's interview, and make sure you leave all comments below. If you guys would like some more information on Flyball, make sure that you check out the links in the description below. If you would like some more information just on the team itself, check out the link in the description below. Until next time, guys, see you then.